What's up, y'all? It's Justice with the wild leader of the tribe, hip hop and in this skin since 99, Simon and Bun. And tonight, it's been like enough nights since I actually thoroughly recorded the October monthly Astro Forecast reading. We're gonna act like this is the first because I've been really rigorously working on my healing. And so it didn't really occur to me like that on top of the quarantine that, wow, a lot of days has passed by and I haven't recorded this. I have the information. So let's get going. I'm in my pajamas. We finna make this quick. I'm finna do this right off the script, right off the lick. Let's go. So let's start with our lunar new moon. This Libra new moon allows for growth and oriented plans, a balanced path to peaceful cooperation, organization, and realignment. It has a close link with Mars, so really that's going to give us the ability to do things right for ourselves and others. It's also going to be a good time to be careful with our needs with others. Again, we're going to act like it's the first. This new moon is also in a trine with Saturn and Jupiter. And so with that comes discipline and expansion. It comes a chance of a 6-month longevity of structure and growth. And if you haven't seen my lunar video where I go through all the phases of the moon to explain how this affects you for 6 months, both new moons and full moons, you should go check it out. Overall, themes of balanced growth, a refreshment, connections, and things of learning and taking time. Mercury retrograde right along with it in the sign of Libra will also help us have the right conversations during this time. So it's going to be a really peaceful time. Really peaceful new moon, peaceful ride, all right, October 20th, we have our full moon in Aries. This full moon in Aries is more of a cathartic release, releasing a lot of toxic energy, a lot of toxic situations, and doing that probably in a way of sacred rage, so to speak. Very good to purge. While collecting wise insights and learning to surrender, this is going to be a very powerful transformation. So be looking out for that. We have a Saturn and Mercury trine during this full moon. Saturn and Mercury trine is going to help us understand the consequences of our actions, bringing wisdom in our long-term decisions. Then we also have Pluto squares Mars in Libra. Now, if you don't know, Pluto has went direct. We're going to get into all of that later on. Just stick around. But yes, Pluto and Mars are going to be squared, and that's also going to affect this because Jupiter is also linked to this, the Sun and Mars and all. And so all of this all together pretty much just says that we're going to have a time of luck and ease, while assisting in this release, inviting growth to ourselves, our situations, and others. So be careful not to lose our learned power for the sake of keeping the peace, so to speak. Pluto being the planet of power, now going direct from retrograde, we have to take all the lessons that we learned from these past few months and ensure that we don't let them go, because Mars in Libra, Mars being the warrior in a peaceful sign, it's more prone to showing a softer side and letting go, letting ease, being a good guy, not the bad cop, but the good cop kind of thing. And so making a lot of room to just keep peace, like I said, but be careful. You want to be sure that you can stand in your own firm ground. So overall, our theme here is gonna highlight releasing or transforming our relationships from when Aries was in new moon. If I remember correctly, Aries was in new moon April 13th. So ever since then, you want to try to get yourself in the headspace of what was I doing then? What kind of transformation was I looking for? Who was I looking to be? What changes was I looking to make in myself, in my life, in my environment? You might be able to see those come into fruition during this full moon. That new moon from back then also had a very strong connection to Pluto, so we should really be seeing some results around now, especially directly linked to our power. We might have felt powerless or in some way, shape, or form really a toxic type of codependence, so to speak. And Mercury retrograding in Libra right now is helping with that, very much so. So we really want to be mindful of those things and the growth, the seeds that we planted back then. We should be watering those within ourselves all along that time, with in between, so that now within we should feel a difference, so to speak. Anywho, moving onward, October 7th is Venus into Sagittarius. This invites meeting new people and stepping out of the comfort zone while avoiding superficiality and embracing spontaneousness in relationships. Ooh. October 6th, as I had mentioned, Pluto goes direct after several months of being in retrograde. I think it was in retrograde maybe since April. And retrograding in Capricorn at that. We've gone within to hone in on our power, on really feeling what is that boosts our self-esteem, what is it that makes me me, and what is it that gives my voice power, that gives me direction behind my energy, being able to really reconnect with ourselves. Rather, Pluto retrograde allowed for us to find our own power by integrating lessons learned from changes over the months. Direct, we now have organized solutions to current changes and are likely to establish our own authority in a step-by-step way. Capricorn is a very careful sign, and it's a very keep it to myself type of sign. So the ways that we honed in on our energy may have to do with us secluding from people. We may have to return to that because Pluto is still in Capricorn now that it's direct. But that also means that we're doing this carefully. We're doing this in a more strategic way. Capricorn is a grounded sign. It's an earth sign. And so with that being said, we can depend on this development of growth within our self-empowerment. So just hone in on it, and we'll be able to ride out all that we've learned throughout these months of its retrograde in ways that benefits us more than ever. October 10th, Saturn direct in Aquarius. Now in retrograde, we've learned to establish boundaries and nourish our inner growth and develop mastery of self, preparing us to operate in our higher minds correctly as we engage in Saturn's direct motion and collectively conscious Aquarius. October 17th, Jupiter goes direct. Beginning its retrograde in Pisces, it's now in Aquarius. This retrograde trip has asked us to examine how we relate with others, our beliefs, and our morality, and how we could fulfill ourselves spiritually, socially, and emotionally. We'll have a better view of our goals and a way of our self-improvement. October 18th, Mercury direct in Libra, a very highly healing way, so to speak, due to Mercury opposition Chiron, wounded healer. Mercury is opposition to Chiron in a Libra Aries opposition. These are two completely opposite signs. You have the first sign opposite the sign that's in the middle of all zodiacs, hence the scales and the balance. This placement regards to old relationship wounds or challenges in gaining independence. Mercury in Libra generally aids in building better connection, keeping peace, balance, harmony, and love as the focus when direct. Just be careful of indecision or superficial communication. Well, now we got a lot of planets going in direct. Pluto is going direct. Jupiter is going direct. Saturn's going direct. This is pretty good. Mercury is also going direct as well after just shortly doing a little cha-cha slide in Libra. So this is really good. It's a really good time to actualize a lot of healing and a lot of growth that we've made thus far this year. Now, despite that, we do have two planets who are still remaining in retrograde. Uranus was the last planet to retrograde recently, so it'll be the last planet to come out of retrograde. It'll be out of retrograde in January. Stick around for all of that. Uranus remains in retrograde in Taurus, which helps us focus on blossoming our internal reality prior to creating roots externally. And then we also still have Neptune in retrograde. So it's going to remain retrograded in Pisces. Be careful of confusion and intimate partnerships around October 24th, so to speak, because then Gemini moon will square Venus and Neptune. So be careful. But that's it. That's all I got to say, My business ain't your business, but you can make it my business. You can hit me up at justicewiththey.com. Hit me up at any of my social links. I'm here for a good time, baby, a good conversation, just you and me. We can talk about all kinds of things up in space, up in, education. We can talk about a lot of things controversially. And we can talk about things just to keep the peace. It's you and me, baby. Talk to me anytime. I'm Justice with the Y, and I succeed when I try. I got love and knowledge for my people, every girl, every guy. See you next time. I will be on time with this forecast. Love you. Bye.